naturally.
Yo, I be buying bids, so all my girls behind the scenes, coming backstage, dying to get pleased. You got me, I'm rocking Versace and Linen. Why you spot me grinning with what your foxy women? Why you speedball with cars?
Recording, Evan?
Yes. Clothes touch the me, phone stylist.
I just pressed record.
But I walk the street until your feet got callous. Till you on the natural high, like a pallet. It be all good, toast your clothes like a salad. When it's all over, put your vote. Yo, I be buying goodies, so all my girls behind the scenes, coming backstage, dying to get pleased. You got me, I'm rocking Versace and Linen. Why you spot me grinning with what your foxy women? Why you speed with cars?
All right.
I take clothes,
Welcome. It is Oliver Happy Hour. I'm not an Oliver, but I'm an Oliver adjacent.
Yeah.
My name is Mr. Knuck.If.U.Buck.
Yeah, you good. Yeah.
And I'm here with the wonderful Oliver family. To my right, I have my best friend,
Debbie Dad here in the building.
the beautiful
Daisy O, always ready for the show.
Hey, and then the baby bro.
You gotta say his name.
You gotta say his name.
Oh,
Anthony.
Darren, because
His
You
name
gotta
is so
say-
nice. You gotta say it twice.
there you go.
Thank you. You're learning.
I'm getting there. I'm sorry.
It's Saturday,
Yes.
September
How y'all
28th.
feeling? Are y'all feeling good on this gloomy Saturday?
It's a gloomy Saturday. You know, we're doing this on a Saturday
We
because
are.
tomorrow on a Sunday that we normally do, I am going to Halloween Horror Night.
She
I'm
got
not
busy.
my
She
coach.
booked
So
and
if you
busy.
see me, I'm booked and busy. I'm gonna be with my friends.
Correct.
All my beautiful girlfriends.
Good.
We're gonna be running through Universal.
Y'all gonna be scared.
I'm gonna be real scared.
I'm over it.
I like getting scared though. It's gonna be fun.
Let's talk about this weather though.
Oh yeah. I don't know if it's gonna be raining tomorrow.
I don't think it's gonna be raining, but I'm loving the gloom. I'm loving the
I do too.
Gloomy weather.
the gloomy weather. You know, coming together. You
I needed to calm down.
calm down.
Yeah.
If we need to chill off our little hot boy summer, hot girl summer.
Oh yeah.
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 It's gonna be a hot girl fall though. I'm
No,
gonna be honest.
that's what Megan. She already started saying it's a hot girl fall.
I'm not participating in that. I'm not participating in that.
Yes,
when
it
you gonna
is.
cool down?
I need to cool down.
I guess in the winter, huh?
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool down
because it's
in the
That's when
fall.
we gonna cool down. Right now, it's just.
Cool it down now.
But
No.
y'all know in California, it's also doesn't cool down in the fall. Like it's still be
considered
hot
hot,
It's still right.
through December.
Yeah, we still should see some hot days.
So it's
It
not
depends
hot.
unless we get rain like we did. What was that? Was that last year or was that? Well, was that like that was like
The year before.
2016?
Yeah.
It was like 2016
Yeah.
when it was a whole bunch of rain.
Yeah.
Remember when we had a whole
Yeah, it
bunch
was
of
like
storms?
floods and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
And that mudslide. That was when Oprah's house had the huge mudslide in like
Right.
Santa Barbara.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it's here.
It was a little rain today, but yeah.
It was nice. It was really nice.
And Anthony, you brought us this wonderful beverage.
Yes.
What is this?
So I was turned on to almond sparkling wine earlier this year. Actually, New Year's Eve. And so I've been drinking ever since. It's really good. If you don't, have you ever never tried it before? I definitely go get you a bottle. Just try it.
What
it's
is it
not
called?
really.
It's called
Now, this particular brand or make I never bought before, but it still all tastes the same. This says
Sparklet.
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 Sparkly.
Sparklet. Sparklet.
Sparkle.
Oh,
Sparkle.
Sparklets is the water.
That's the water. We're not talking about
Sparklet.
sparklets.
Sparklet.
We're talking about no water. We're
Yeah.
talking about
Sparklet sounds like some. Sparklet sounds like some clear malt liquor. That's what it sounds like.
Right.
Jimmy Steak Sparkle.
Almond.
Celebration Selection Almond.
Get you a
Yeah.
bottle. Crack
Get
it
you a
open.
bottle.
How did they make an almond?
It was $7.99
At the
at
grocery outlet.
the grocery outlet in
It's a
Compton.
Yes.
Yes.
So you get you a bottle and you turn on you some new music.
Yeah.
So this music, Lil Kim came up with a new song.
Oh yeah, we just
We-
opened.
yes.
So
We
just
opened with Lil
with
Kim, so
Pressure
let's
on
talk
You.
about Lil Kim.
Yeah. Alright,
Well,
this is Found
It's
You.
a cover.
Found You.
Genesis and City Girls.
Go, go,
Lil Kim.
go, go, go.
This is the Fall Hot Girl song.
No.
No?
There she go.
Come on, Kim.
Whoa! Oh my goodness!
Oh, y'all know Lil Kim be nasty with it now.
No, we can't be too vulgar in the fall. You gotta calm down.
Really? Can't she say towel, but instead of a rag? Really, girl?
Rag. She gotta
A
be
rag.
ratchet.
Okay.
With a bow, you need a yacht. And I don't know its name, so I call him Bo. And I'll save numbers till they send a military.
Okay.
Hey, Big Mac, you can give me big bag. You can kiss my big
Okay.
Okay.
I don't. I mean,
Lil Kim, she come with it.
Yeah, she really
Yeah.
bringing it. Yeah.
I mean, she's the #1 hitter, quitter. Like,
Right.
she's the OG.
she's an OG. She's
The
an
OG.
I'm just saying.
Queen bee. Yeah,
She
that's
gotta
right.
represent.
Yeah,
She just nasty.
I like the song though. Miami. That's in Miami. Free JT. And I'm a huge City Girl fan. I'm a huge, Lil Kim fan. I think Lil Kim came back with a song at the right time, though.
It's a great
Nicki Minaj
combo.
is retiring.
Yeah.
So it's a great time for her to enter her,
No, but
her
remember
spot.
she had that show. Did you guys watch it? That show
Yes,
on,
the
Yeah.
crew. It's a girl's crew.
How was that?
It was good. It was nice because you got to see another side of her because a lot of people think she like this hardcore like crazy like she just this diva but she's really down to earth. She just wanted like her girls to come together because she really chose people who were she desired a relationship with them and she really didn't have time to spend with them. So she thought this time it would be good because they were gone for like 10 days I think.
Okay.
They just cruised along.
Oh, that's
the
cool.
yeah, in the Caribbean. So it was Chili, it was Maya,
Okay.
it was her two best friends. One was like a old dancer, and it was Versace's boyfriend or something. And then Miss Pretty B and B Simone. Those two girls are the big social media personalities.
Okay.
So yeah, she's
Let's go.
Pretty Miss V is Miss Pretty V. I'm sorry, she's the one who did the V-Bell. You know so yeah.
Yeah, the girl.
Yeah.
Look her up. She good.
Yeah.
Right, they're
That one.
comedians. They're
Okay.
comedians.
But what I liked about the show was what you don't see on a lot of these reality TV shows is camaraderie and friendship.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
So-
no drama,
Oh,
little to no
yeah.
drama. It was
Little
like,
to no.
they were having
They had little
fun.
mishaps or
Yeah,
whatever.
it wasn't big.
misunderstandings,
It wasn't
but they,
big.
But that's
talked about
normal.
It was
when
still
you travel.
friendship.
And it was
together.
good to see, women on reality TV that actually were together and didn't have no type of drama.
No, right.
Right.
Yeah, but because that's what reality TV is. That's what they give you. It's the
Always
drama. That's
drama.
what-
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to keep watching this. Just like looking at fighting videos and those
Right.
star counts.
Man,
I
I
was-
hate watching those.
I wasn't gonna move on to this next song that because it came out of Lil Kim, but I think it's appropriate right
So
now.
who's this?
Sabrina Claudio. Are you doing Sabrina Claudio?
Yeah, this is
Yes.
Truth Is, right?
Truth is. Really good song.
This is
It's a little mellow,
Yeah, we gotta record it better next time.
a switch.
honest about some stuff, you know, being self-aware, which I think is really big today, like kind of connect to some things and like come to some reality and be honest about some stuff.
Yeah.
It's an awesome song. This one don't take a good chance. Now if you want to get a little hood, the baby then came out with another. You want to turn hood, the baby then came out with a new song. I don't know if it's a new CD or a new song, but we're going to highlight the gospel from his new CD.
It's featuring Chance the Rapper.
I lost my daddy the same week that they lost Nipsey. Ain't got no love left in my heart, my shit be empty. I'm ready to pound on my eyes, let a nigga tempt me. And the day I die, I bet the time when I did history. I ain't solo, I've been stunting. No ho, it's a no-go, I don't want. And everybody wondering why he come round and don't say nothing. Cause it be so long, it be so long.
You still want?
You don't like it?
No. I mean, it's not my, you know, my thing.
I kind of like it.
Okay.
I think it's a nice bop. I feel like a teenager will really be like, yeah.
Okay, teenager.
I feel
Yeah,
like a
got
teenager
it.
really would. And if I'm just driving down the street, because I listen to music mostly when I'm driving, I would be like,
Okay.
yeah.
In your debate moment on.
In my debate moment.
Okay, I got it.
I like the
I
song.
got it.
I feel like this is an emotional song where he's kind of digging deeper and he's really being real about his thoughts and feelings. You know?
And the baby, I can't even say it.
The
You know, people would probably think like he's just another rapper, but he's educated. He's educated. Like, he graduated.
Is that him singing too?
Well, it's
He's a rapper.
as well as Gucci Mane and YK Osiris.
Oh, okay.
It's a good collaboration.
Oh, interesting.
Brandy has a new song out.
Brandy got a new song.
For those of you, everyone know I love Brandy. Like, love me some Brandy. I love this song. You know, Darren called it what did Darren call it? A freedom,
a patriotic
song.
Right.
Well,
But you know what? I think Brandy right now, she's entering into a new stage.
She's doing something new.
She's changed up her
she's changing it
style.
up.
I feel like
She's like real hippie right now.
Yeah.
She really
She
is.
needs to go out with a live band and she needs to try to do some live shows.
I think so.
I think she has.
Yeah.
Where?
I'm talking about
She
some.
goes to like
I'm
the
talking
Novo.
No, I'm not. You guys talking about shows like that. I'm talking about. Remember, unfortunately, Brandy a few years ago when she was singing at the subway station and nobody was like even paying attention.
Right.
But I'm saying Brandy, if she does like a free public concert over like in Santa Monica or even downtown,
I can see that.
Long Beach, I can see it Long Beach.
Totally Long Beach.
Or even I don't know. You know,
Because
maybe
she's in her hippie vibe right now. Long Beach is
Long
very,
Beach be
very.
good.
Long Beach. Yeah, you know.
Or even East LA.
East LA.
I feel like East LA, she can probably
I don't think there's a lot of venues in East LA.
But downtown would be cool.
Downtown would be really good.
But yeah, Brandy, come on, just do a live show for your
She
hometown.
got some soul in the song.
Yeah.
It's soulful, it's earthy, it's a good vibe. I like the song.
This is perfect timing for the election coming up
Yes,
too. She's
yes.
perfectly timed. Perfectly timed. Way to go, Brandy.
Go, Brandy.
Everything around me is changing now. I've got to remember the fingerprints that got to my innocence are breaking out.
Alright, so again, that's Brandy, and the single called Freedom Ring.
Now, this next song we're featuring, what is it? Who's on your there? What is it? Summervibes by Jharell the Dope?
I'm sorry, it's Jharell.
It's Jharell the Dope.
That's
Okay.
Yeah,
A
kind of.
little typo there. Okay, Jharell the Dope.
Jharell the Dope. It's called
Yeah,
Summervibes.
Where did she come from?
I don't know. I haven't really
Is
listened
this
to
the
her.
first time hearing it? me like an end of the summer vibe, like a cool breeze, summer breeze.
Like today.
Yeah, like today.
She's cool.
I like it. It's a chill. Something so her name is Jharell the Dope. This is called Summervibes. And why don't we do one more, huh?
Let's do a random one. Wait, what do you call it?
A random?
Prize.
A random song? Oh, all right.
Impromptu. Spontaneous.
Impromptu jam? Looks like it's an impromptu jam?
Yeah, impromptu.
What?
Oh my goodness.
What?
Not
What?
my goodness.
Come on, Sierra. This song was released September 24, 2004.
Alright.
15 years ago. Where were you at 15 years ago?
I was
Senior year in this company, my senior year in this room.
24.
2004.
24?
2004.
I was going back to college. I was in college.
I was trying to find my way.
I was in college. You was married.
No, I wasn't married yet.
No, you was in Santa Clarita.
I was in Santa Clarita. I was in school working. I was, a hard-working man.
Right,
Lord.
right. Where was you here? In elementary school?
I think I was in.
Middle school?
Yeah, I was still in middle school. I was
You
in
just
eighth
started?
grade.
Or you about to in middle school?
Yeah, I had just started 8th grade. Yep. Heck yeah.
This was
Everybody
all
was
over the
doing this
radio.
dance. Everybody was doing the dance.
Right,
Yeah.
you had to squat down low and then hop it.
Squat down low and pop it. Bring it across.
I think this was really when whispering, that whisper singing was still high.
Yeah.
You know, she was just like.
It's totally jamming.
Now, how many times did we rewind the dance part so we were trying to get the dance move? Count the steps, like trying to get this. We were trying to be Sierra. There's a lot of those moments. We appreciate you, Sierra, for this song. You did a good job.
Yes.
Hey.
Speaking of more music, y'all, I went to the India concert. Oh my God.
How was that?
It was a special birthday gift.
Shout out to Mary.
Shout out to
Sister
Mary Jane who hooked me up. Y'all, I done cried through the whole thing. I felt like I was in church. Her voice is so angelic. It's like she's really, really. And then her mother, like before she came out, also too there was a guy who performed before her. I'm gonna try to tell Darren to look him up, but he was really great. I think his name was like Mark. No. Darren, look up the opening act for India. Anyway, she was phenomenal. Played all of her great hits. Really amazing. Yes. Oh my God. I cried. She was like, I want you to do 3 things. Like, I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. And then she was like, I want you to hear me. Because she was like, she repeated herself, but she's pointing to her eyes, her ears, and her heart. She's like, I want you to hear me through in every moment. So many different parts.
She's very personable.
And then her mother blessed the stage, y'all, before she came out. And you can just see her mother touching all of her instruments. Shut up. Her mom just touched all of her instruments and she walked. You know, she was taking her time, just like walking around the stage.
Bringing in the
I said her mother was an intercessor.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my.
Y'all, I just about lost it. It was so good.
I hate I missed it because I would have loved to see India Ray.
One of my favorite concerts of all time, for sure, because it was nice and intimate at the Novo. If you guys ever get a chance to see her, especially for this Worthy tour, it was the visuals, the sound, her background singers. She was on it. On it.
We're glad you had a good
Just
time.
on point.
You went fishing last week. That's why we didn't
Yeah, I did go fishing. Me and Daddy, we went all the way out to Oxnard, and we went out on a fishing trip. Yeah, we went out, we went out to near I don't know what islands, the Channel Islands. We went around the Channel Islands. And I was going to say cut down. Yeah. So we went fishing around the Channel Islands. Yeah, it was my first time doing like a kind of fishing boat trip.
Yeah.
And it was cool being around. I was around a bunch of older black men, so I feel like it was cool. You know,
Very brotherhood.
Right. And because they were all like into fishing, they knew what they were doing. Me and Daddy, we just pulled out his fishing rods. You know, they worked. Both of them worked, but. You know, the fishing pole I had wasn't meant for the type of fishing we were doing.
But you
Tell
still
me
caught
how many
some.
fish you caught.
Right, you still
I
caught
caught
some
8 fish. Yeah, I
You
caught
caught
8
eight
fish.
fish.
Yeah, 8
So
fish.
you a natural.
Yeah, I'll definitely do it again. It was great.
I was looking at
But
this
it was
story
12
on
hours.
Instagram.
Me and Daddy picked me up at 1:15
in the
a.m.
morning.
And we drove out there. We got there and I started at like 2:30 in the morning, you know, because we had stopped, one time. And then we was there at 2:30 in the morning.
Waited until 4 o'clock.
Right, 4 o'clock the boat took off, 2-hour boat ride out to the Channel Islands and
Yeah, you guys had a long day,
It
but
was a
that's
very
cool.
long
I
day,
see you
12
got a
hours.
tan too, Darren.
Right.
You got a
Probably
little
so.
bit of color.
Yeah, Darren, you
Yeah.
got some color now.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I was looking. I watched your IG story. I was very inspired. I was reminded of my childhood with my dad. It was really good. I thought it was a really good moment for you.
Yeah.
Well, moving on. What's popping in? What are we doing?
Oh yeah, we gotta do the.
Y'all gotta help me.
What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
Do your little fast.
What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
Oh, what's poppin'? Oh, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Oh, what's poppin'? Sorry, y'all.
We never all be.
Reading was off, okay?
We're gonna get
But
that together
excuse
one
us,
day.
now.
We're gonna get that together one day.
Darren, at least we got it solved.
That's all right.
At least we
What's
got it solved.
poppin'?
Boy,
What's
thank you.
poppin'?
Oh my God.
What's poppin'?
I like it. That's cute.
All right,
So
what's
we're
going on? What's going on?
What's going on with your boy Tekashi? That's your
Tekashi
homeboy.
Snitch-9.
Tekashi
your
Snitch-9.
homeboy.
What you saying that's my homeboy from? I would not be homeboys or friends with anybody with all them damn pastel colors.
What is
I'm
Right.
here looking like a damn clown,
And then he decided not to have a protective order for what is it like to have a secret service?
Witness
protection.
He
He's like,
decided
I don't need no witness
not to
protection.
have witness protection and have protective custody. Everybody literally have been like, well, bye then, fool.
Right.
You done snitched on everybody. You think you gonna live to see another day?
Because how many people did he snitch on? Like
So many.
almost everybody.
Everybody.
Like
Even-
everybody.
Even the remember they said that he was kidnapped or something like that, and they got the recording of that night.
So much
Like
no,
they played
wait,
that.
but so much so that Snoop Dogg released a video of Martha Stewart, not a video, a picture of Martha Stewart.
Oh yeah, I mean.
It was a meme that was basically like she's the original OG, or she's an original gangster because she didn't snitch on not one person.
No, one person.
She
She served her
did
jail
time.
time. Yeah, she did her time.
She didn't snitch on nobody,
No, but-
and she served her jail time.
Right.
But Martha Stewart on like one of the first things that where like Snoop Dogg had like said that like Tekashi Snitch-9 was a rat. Like he had posted a meme. Martha Stewart, she had commented on it like saying like real. She said like real recognize you.
Yes, she said that. Yes, she said real, recognize real. I said, okay, Martha. Okay, she
Martha
know what's
is
up.
a G.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Martha Stewart is a gangster. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just
yeah.
that
That's
goes with
just
the
the
territory.
thing.
You
That's
do
what
not snitch,
Right.
bro.
If you did something, you do the time for it. Don't be saying other stuff.
Right.
Trying to
Don't
tell
bring in
people.
nobody else.
Right, don't bring
Yeah,
in nobody
like-
else. If they trying to get you for racketeering, that's what the fuck you was involved with. Then do your time.
I think
Don't
he's
say
really
nothing about nobody
delusional.
else.
for him to, he's delusional for him to think that he doesn't need protective custody.
He's just trying to get out. That's all he's focused on.
Hey.
He's getting out so he can get back to his money, but it's gonna be, they're gonna come for
I
that.
had seen this. I was watching Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne had he was doing an interview with Tekashi 6ix9ine before he had got arrested and everything, and he was like, "You really need to slow down," because he was like, "Within a year, you probably gonna be dead or in jail."
Say you gonna be dead or in jail?
Yes,
Yeah.
because he was
No,
just
for real.
moving like he was just.
But this has been, no, even before. That's why I never liked him to begin with, because the first time, he's running around with all this shit in his mouth, and he's over here throwing around money, and
He's just being disrespectful.
being disrespectful, being a troll, yelling in these Instagram videos. I'm like, really? I don't respect. I have complete disdain for any rapper or any artist or anybody with money that just throws it, because you're not no true OG.
Right.
A true OG wouldn't even be throwing this stuff around like that.
They would put it in a bank.
They will put it in the bank. They put it in the laundromat, or be opening up stuff around in the community. They'd be doing turkey giveaways and stuff like that. You do that if you're going around. If you do that, okay, I got you. But
He had a couple of videos where he was
never
giving
hot to
people
me.
money
He was never
but
cool to
it
me.
was nothing like.
No, it was bullshit. He over there talking all that shit. That just negates everything else that you did.
He was just too much. He was moving too fast and thought he was untouchable, and they got his ass. And now we want to snitch,
Scream like a canary.
and just give up everybody.
And not having witness protection is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you're actually crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed at all. Someone I'm very impressed with.
Who?
Mr. Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. What's up with Chris Brown?
He's about to release.
He's on tour.
He's on tour. He's coming to California. I got my ticket.
Stephanie, man.
What are you saying about?
Y'all,
I'm gonna see him in Anaheim.
Okay.
I'm trying to get that. I'm still working on Devin's ticket. Don't you worry, Devin.
Let's try to get her a ticket,
I'm working on
y'all.
your
Let's
ticket.
try to get her a ticket.
Mr. Chris Brown is going to release 10 new songs to Indigo.
And Indigo already has 32 songs.
It already has 32 songs.
But mind you, Heartbreak on the Full Moon had 40 plus
almost
songs.
50.
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
50 songs. So
Yeah. But it's a new way to keep your album kind of current.
Yes.
Like you continue to add to
it's
it.
almost like a little it's a teaser.
Yeah.
It's an appetizer.
He's trying to get the numbers up.
Yeah.
The number of streams of his album, he is trying to push them up.
It's
Let
a smart
people come
move.
back and listen to this album again and get all those plays.
Hell,
so
I
that
still be
it hits.
listening.
That's how you make
I
money.
still be
Yeah.
listening
Smart.
to songs from Heartbreak on the Full Moon.
Well, you can still listen to them. They weren't released, so you can they're like brand new if you listen to them today. But it is a new way to release music. Artists are releasing maybe a few songs in the beginning, then release a whole album. Her did it. Sabrina Claudio did it. Chris Brown released a lot first, but him to come with 10 new songs, I think is almost expected. Some of the songs on Indigo was like, I want more. Give me some more.
Yeah.
So if he come out with a little interlude or a little prelude or afterlude to No Guidance, I'm ready for that.
No Guidance was on Indigo?
It is on Indigo, but when Drake's part drops, that beat drop is a whole nother song. It's a whole nother song. And that really should be a whole nother song.
Yeah,
So
here it is, right?
Well, let's see.
There's so many songs on. How am I supposed to
it's a
just
lot of
look?
songs.
Y'all
look
may
at,
be predicting something out there.
I think
Y'all
so.
may
I
be
think
making
there
some
might be
predictions.
another song tagged onto No Guidance by
Like a remix? Like
Why not?
I think so.
with other
Something.
people on it?
Maybe. Who knows?
That would be cool. I really haven't even heard like remixes like that. Well, I guess Old Town Road, that was the last one to have like a whole bunch of remixes.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's true.
but still, that remix of Old Town Road, it was just the same song. It wasn't like the true remix.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
Of where like how Puff Daddy used to do them,
Right,
where it was
right.
just a whole new song. Like, oh snap! Oh snap!
It's a whole new beat.
Right.
So yeah, at the end of this song, at the end of No Guidance, the beat completely changed. The tempo changes. It's a whole nother song.
Right here.
It goes to the girl of your dream.
No, before that.
Oh.
It's in that same song, but
Right.
at the end.
It's right here.
Right here.
No.
It's-
Yeah. with that beat
But
right
if they
there.
tag that on with another song, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm totally ready for it.
Freaky.
Mm-hmm. That's the end. Okay, we'll get you to the concert. I promise. We have to report some
What
sad
type
news.
of best friend?
Yeah, Saturn news.
Some of the sad news. Moving on. I got you. Don't you worry. Snoop Dogg grandson passes away after 10 days of being buried. That is really, really
It's
hard.
very heartbreaking. Yeah,
We don't know the reason why this happened, but oftentimes infants do pass away after birth. It could be, lack of oxygen. It could be SIDS. It could be,
number of complications.
Maybe the pregnancy was kind of hard. We don't know, but our condolences do go out to Snoop Dogg and his family. May his grandson rest in peace at this time. We are praying for the family. 10 days. Wow.
Yeah.
But I did see the Instagram post that that his son, I think it was Cordell, right?
Cordell.
That Cordell had a
Junior, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, the oldest. But he had said, you know what, my son, he lived for a purpose. It was 10. It was, it was just along the line. It was a long message, but it was just along the lines of is that he served his purpose. Even if it was for 10 days, we got something like we learned from all of this. He had an impact on our lives, so his life had purpose. So that I think that that's definitely a healthy way to look at it.
It is,
especially in this
and that's totally scripture too. We come from Christianity, and so we know that whatever time you do spend on this earth, it is ordained by God.
Absolutely.
And like he said, whatever purpose he did serve, he fulfilled that. God needed to come home now.
Yeah.
That's how we settled that. Ooh, it is still hard though.
Yeah, there was we missed this last week though. Just transitioning, we didn't get a chance to talk about the Emmy Awards.
Yes, the 2019 Emmy Awards, the 71st. Something like that.
One of them 70s.
One of the early 70s, one of the early.
You said one of them 70s.
Yeah, but
so I think I got a chance to watch it, and the highlight for me when they see us, that I only saw it one time, and I think that's the only time we need to watch it because that's something that you just don't want to rewatch over and over again. But anyway, Jharell Jerome, he won Best Lead Actor. And oh my gosh, when Angela Bassett, she presented it too. And when she opened that freaking envelope, she was like, oh, Jharell Jerome. I was like, yes!
Come on, Tina Turner.
When I say I was in the room clapping like I was there, and then you could just see everybody everybody was just crying. I was crying.
And that's emotional. That's very emotional.
And then to even see the guy to see Corey Wise, he was crying. He stood up. All the guys stood up. Jharell Jerome, he had dedicated it to them, obviously, and he said most of all, he calls him King Corey Wise, and I just just to see that he's an up and coming actor, so to see he was recognized for this and meant so much for him too, it was good to see.
It was an award
definitely
deserved. It was an award
definitely, particularly because it's not easy to play a real life person
that's
still alive.
That's still alive.
That's right.
So they created a good relationship. He was like, this is a lifelong relationship. You're my brother. You're my big brother. And both of them are from New York. So it's they also have that, in common. So it was just that was a good thing to watch.
All right, who else was the highlight on the Emmys? We have Billy Porter.
Yeah, Billy Porter.
Won,
The first only black gay man
yes.
to win a lead acting in a drama.
And
Pole.
For Pole.
Yes.
This was major. This was a major win.
Yeah,
Pose, I didn't necessarily get into Pose myself, but it's a really big thing within
it is
the gay community, ballroom culture.
Yes.
Everyone's involved in it. People go to it, they love it. Pose introduced that to, the society. This
to
is
a
a
whole
big
new,
win.
really to a whole, not only to a whole new generation of people, but just in general people who may not be in urban areas
Right.
that have ballroom culture or who don't live in New York City. You know, I know ballrooms happen all over the world, but New York City, you know, is
It's really
the
where
cultural
it's-
heart of it.
And it really is a lifestyle. It's a life.
Oh,
it's
yes,
become a
yes.
lifestyle. You know, people when they say they live in these houses, they really do
Yes.
live
Yeah.
in these houses. They, you know, have relationship within these people, within this community. It's like, wow, it really opened my eyes to almost a whole new world.
Totally. I didn't know about ballroom culture.
I had no
until
idea.
After
Oh my
college.
I had no idea until like this year.
Well, Darren, you were in New York.
Yeah,
so you
I didn't go to the best ballrooms, but I went to the ones on the campus. 'Cause I worked at a few of them,
Right.
just doing the audio and stuff. But yeah, I mean, hey, you know, people would come out there dressed, and some of them they knew what they were doing. Some people needed some work, but I guess everybody was going on a college campus.
Right,
So,
right. This was a big win for Billy
It was,
Porter.
and for that community for sure.
Absolutely.
Also, RuPaul, he won for his television
For Drag
reality
Race.
show, Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race. And also, Alex Borestein, she won Best Supporting Actress for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
And
She gave a great speech.
she did. I've been re-watching The Marvelous.
It's
Mrs.
good.
Maisel.
It's
It's so good. It's a good show.
Really good.
Well, yeah, because you know the writer of it, you know, is the one who created Gilmore Girls.
Oh.
So, you know, but just the dialogue is so quick.
The
It's so
page.
quick.
You
The
really
patience
gotta
is
be
real
like,
quick.
oh my god.
Yeah.
But
you know.
I mean the costume design of
Yes,
that
yes.
show.
Oh my gosh, she be
Really?
whipped.
I'm telling
When I say the
Yes, for
outfit,
this show.
them hats.
it's just inspiring.
The time
me. The
is
color
what, in the
is timeless.
1950s.
1950s.
Okay.
Yeah, mid-century.
Yes.
Like it's just a
Ooh,
great time.
those dresses, the jackets.
It's a great time for fashion. It was a great time for fashion and for furniture, for like a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Speaking of dresses, did you guys see the Real Housewives of Atlanta's photo that they released as they released their new show starting in November? They all had on some beautiful black gowns and
Oh, so it's
dress for the
upscale,
guy.
They're trying
It
to
was-
be classy.
They're trying to be classy then. I'm thinking that they're trying to be classy this season.
Oh,
I'm
Right.
hoping they're trying to be classy. You
child,
know?
Right.
never gonna be classy. or
Well,
nothing.
now I think
I
they're
just
trying to
know
be
that.
classy.
Definitely.
But the Real Housewives of Atlanta are coming back this November.
Let me sip to that.
Okay, we're gonna sit for that. Because
They
the
can act like
tea,
they classy.
there is some
but
tea
they
to
be
this.
acting real ratchet.
they be ratchet. It's
What's
ratchet.
they action?
The tea is Phaedra Parsons not coming back.
I mean, was
not
she a
returning.
controversial figure? I don't watch the
I
show,
think that
so-
she was controversial. I think they kicked her
Okay.
off.
Okay.
Why did they kick her off?
I don't know the real reason. We have to do our
Because she
research.
lied about something with what's her name? Oh, I don't know her name.
I don't know the real details, but she is no longer a cast member.
I see.
Yeah.
But you know, I will want to mention. This is kind of piggybacking on this, but did you guys hear that Jocelyn Hernandez is going to be a part of Married to Medicine?
No.
Why?
And she is not married to medicine at all.
Right.
She is supposed to be on. She's supposed to be featured on the next season show. Jocelyn Hernandez.
Why?
Stay tuned for that. I don't know.
You know what's crazy is I don't even watch that show, but I know the lady. You know, I used to work at Gateways Hospital, but the lady who was like the head of the who was the head psychiatrist for the hospital. She was a black woman, right? She was on Married to Medicine. I forget her name because I remember them sending us an email saying like, "Oh, the camera crews will be what's her
We
name?
on
is
alert.
on yeah, but the thing is that they would record other things at the hospital too, because it was Gateways Hospital. Well, the main hospital was it was one of the first mental health hospitals in the city when it opened in the 50s. So people come there to record all the time. So it was funny. I never watched that season, but she was on it.
I've never seen many episodes of Married to Medicine, but I know for sure the females are either doctors or their husbands are doctors.
I see.
Yeah.
Jocelyn Hernandez does not fit in any of those categories.
Is she dating the
Maybe
doctor?
she's just one. No,
I don't know.
But
Is
no,
she gonna
because
get surgery?
One of the doctors, she's a.
She has an affair with one of the doctors.
No, she's a gynecologist or something. Or she
We're
delivers
just
babies.
figuring this out.
Oh, okay.
So one of
Okay.
she has a lot of celebrity clients or patients. So I know she's been featured on other reality shows.
Okay. Well, Wendy released that information this week, and I heard it, so I just wanted to replay it.
Interesting.
Well, you really gotta share the
They do.
talent. She got a contract probably.
She
with
may be
VH1.
pregnant.
She probably is pregnant.
Or
I was
she
thinking
pregnant.
that.
Yeah,
I was thinking
trying
that.
to get
Because,
pregnant.
right, and she may be seeing a doctor.
And she probably seen a doctor, so that's what I was thinking.
She's in a new relationship.
Well, we'll see.
What, will this be her second baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because she already got one with Stevie.
Right.
CJ.
Mm.
Well, Daisy, help us out with this
Y'all.
orphanism
the story.
situation. The
Well,
tea.
early in the morning, I like to read the news, right? And so
Oh,
this
God.
came on, it was featured on CNN, but it was a daily news article.
Okay.
So this woman was describing how she was arrested, or her and her husband were arrested. The article was interviewing like these two parents that were recently arrested for abandoning their child. But when the woman was interviewed, the lady tried to explain. So she was asked, so can you explain why you would abandon, this child? And she was like, well, it was like The Orphan. It was like the movie The Orphan, because this child was not actually a child. It was a woman with a form of dwarfism that was acting like an 8-year-old child, but she was like a 22-year-old woman.
What the hell?
So they found out that they adopted this, what seemingly looks like an 8-year-old child, but as the woman was explaining during the article, she was like, as I tried to bathe her, she had pubic hair. She also had grown people teeth, and she was like, had her period. And then the reason why she gave her up, or at least abandoned her, was because she found out that after like the girl tried to kill her, she tried to push her into an electric fence. She tried to put bleach in her coffee, her and her husband's coffee. The girl tried to put bleach in it.
Wow.
The girl tried to kill or beat up this other little boy who was like actually an 8-year-old boy. So the mom took her to the doctor and was like, what's going on here? Something's not right. Primary doctor said, based on her bone density, she don't look like she was born in 2003. She looked like she was born in 1980.
I can't. Oh my God.
1993 or something like that. 1993. So, come to find out. And then she took her to a therapist. And the therapist said, yeah, it seems like this is a grown woman who's pretending like she's an 8-year-old child. So she's a sociopath.
Correct.
That is scary.
So the parents left her, like basically bought her an apartment, left her, moved to Canada or something like that. And then the girl tried to get adopted again.
Oh my God.
And that's when the parents of the new parents that tried to adopt her said that
The other parents abandoned her.
other parents abandoned her.
But why didn't they go to social services to begin with? This is a white family, right?
Yes.
Why didn't they go? Don't they call the
They
police
went
for
to-
everything
right.
else? But they didn't think to call social services
Right.
or anybody.
Crazy.
At least they wouldn't have been in jail if they would have.
Stupid.
Called the
Wait
adoption
a second.
Right.
So
I
they
need y'all to
they-
swap it out.
They went
Okay.
and they went and probably kept paying the rent on that
Correct.
apartment.
Yes,
Correct.
they did.
Went and got another apartment
Yes, they did.
and was just like, oh, okay, let's just. That doesn't make any sense.
Instead of calling, because they have the evidence, and the judge actually ruled in their favor. So the judge was like, based on all of this information, this is a 22-year-old woman. You're not obligated to take care of her.
Yeah, that's a rightful thing. But I could see a judge if this was a Brown family or something, they could easily serve some more time in jail.
Right.
Right.
You know, because
Absolutely.
you adopted this kid. I mean, they could make up
You're
some bullshit like that.
responsible for
Right.
it. You adopted this kid. You
You didn't follow the rules. You had a kid. I don't care if she was 22. You thought she was 6, and you abandoned this 6-year-old girl, even if she was faking it.
But that's what they said after they found out. They didn't abandon her while after they actually did the research and found
out
out.
she was
You got
22.
so much money that you're just gonna be like, oh, Jill,
They had already
Jill, let's just leave this apartment. We'll keep paying for it.
Right.
Let's
For
just
you-
find a new
please.
life and let's escape from this big mistake we made.
made a terrible mistake. They spent all that money on that adoption.
Couldn't be a
I'd
black family.
ask for I'd ask for a
It couldn't be a
refund.
black family. She would have
I would
got her
definitely
ass
ask.
whooped.
Right. I would have went down
She
there
would
with
have got her
them.
ass whooped.
Look, I would have went down there with them adoption papers and say, look, you need to pay me back this
You
money.
need to swap it out.
Right,
okay?
right,
You
right.
need to give me another
Dwarf
child.
and all, she would have got her ass whooped. With her little self. She would have got her ass whooped. That's period. I'm sorry, you tricked us.
No,
And
she
now-
tried to kill you.
Right. She tried to kill me.
But I'm like, why
Don't
don't you call the
yourself.
police then? Damn, why don't you call the police then? Girl trying to
I
kill
would have
you.
called the police. Like,
Girl
tried to kill
you.
Yeah. I don't know.
Y'all, the girl tried to kill him. Okay? Put bleach in their coffee.
Oh my god.
You put some,
Anyway.
put some bleach in this if you want to. I'll
That kind of cracked me up this morning too, because I was like, only with a
That
white
is
family,
funny.
only with a white, and the girl was like Ukrainian or something like that. So
Oh hell no.
she looked crazy.
She
Oh,
looked
yeah,
very
She
crazy.
looked
Look at the picture. Y'all go look at the picture. She looked crazy.
crazy as hell.
Oh, man.
22-year-old acting like an 8-year. Who child?
They call
He
him a
was
sociopath.
That's what a
Sociopath, Devin.
yes.
That is a designated sociopath.
Yeah, for real.
Damn.
Okay.
All right, we moving on.
Yeah, for real.
We need music, Darren.
I know.
Isn't I'm waiting for Darren or Devin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wait.
See? I actually cued her in, and then she didn't do it.
I was looking like, what are you doing?
Oh, the internet just went out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hold on. It's okay. It's okay. I can play something.
Oh no.
It doesn't matter. So anyway, in politics
Politics.
today,
Technical difficulties.
Technical
difficulties. And we are switching to politics.
Let's talk about our. Okay, let's talk about our homegirl Heather Lynn.
so what happened with Heather Lynn? What's the story?
Well, she
This little
decided
white
to
bitch.
stand outside of CVS and use the N-word
Multiple times.
multiple times,
Like literally.
yelling, screaming
Variety of
in
times.
their faces, in African American faces. I read the story while the little snippet that I did read. There was obviously a situation that happened in CVS
Yeah.
that carried out to the parking lot. There was some customers outside that decided to videotape her as she used the N-word multiple times.
But
And
it
she
wasn't
would
just
lynch
her
them.
using the. Yeah, it wasn't just
Yeah,
her
she was
using the
saying that she
N-word.
wanted to
She was.
She said she would lynch niggers. She said
That's what
if
she
it was
said.
legal, she would do it.
She would do it. That's what she said.
Yeah. So this woman,
That's hate speech. It is the
And it was
definition
here
of hate
in California.
speech. So this is a very liberal state.
Yeah, it was
You're
here.
not gonna get away with
Right.
It was here in Eagle Rock.
Eagle
right
Rock.
in LA County, not far.
Correct,
over
not
Eagle
far
Rock
out.
is Right
She
next to
lost her
Pasadena
job.
and Highland Park.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yes, she was
lost her
fired
job. She was
instantly.
fired instantly, as she should be.
Yeah, so they said that she was like a Hollywood costume designer or something. I mean, the woman looks batshit crazy
She
out there,
does.
yelling over here at these people, calling them niggers. You know, saying that like just repeating it. She looked like she's been off of her medication or she
Right.
took something. She
took
took too
something.
many,
I feel like she took
opioids.
I think she took something.
Yeah, she was
'cause
definitely
I don't
on
make
something.
those things.
I mean, she was
But
at
foaming
CVS.
at the mouth because
She's a CVS, so she probably needed like a re-up of her prescription drug that she's overusing. That's just, I'm just saying. That's probably what exactly happened.
well, y'all know the entertainment industry is known for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
They just
I was
released
full of that.
that Prince. They just found out that Prince passed away because of Vicodin, but it was laced with fentanyl.
Well, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
because
yeah.
he
It was,
had-
and it wasn't a prescription. It was like the fake kind.
But that
Yeah,
was the
it
same
was
thing
something that
with,
somebody gave to him.
That was
Somebody
the same
gave him
thing with
the Angels baseball.
Angels
Yeah,
baseball.
the baseball
no, the
pitcher.
other guy, the
But the
rapper.
pitcher.
The rapper.
Oh, Mac Miller.
Mac
right.
Miller.
So Mac
Yeah.
Miller, he had got some stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
some.
Oh, wow.
Same thing.
Yeah, 'cause he was
Yeah,
supposed to
same.
participate. Yeah.
Don't be taking stuff from other people.
No, watch those pills, especially
If it's
from
not
the-
prescribed to you, you shouldn't be
If
taking
you
it.
should-
But the thing is that
Taking
that all these that these dealers and stuff they cut it with all this weird
Exactly.
shit
They
that's
be
out
trying to
there. You know,
make it more potent and
yeah,
shit.
fentanyl is cheaper. It gives you a quick high, but it's so deadly.
Super deadly,
You know?
especially when it's combined with other things
Other
like
things.
alcohol.
Alcohol, yeah, that's true.
Oh, so yeah,
She ain't got no
this
job
lady, she ain't got
now.
no
We
money,
ain't
she
worried
ain't
about
got
that.
no
Let me see
job,
if
she
I
fired
can
at
get it. I think.
Fired at I don't want to hear it because I don't
It's
really, I
very
don't
vulgar.
vulgar.
You know, I think you should, if you want to listen to it, you just should, YouTube
Her name is
it.
Heather Lynn Patterson.
Heather Lynn.
Yeah.
Well,
Fire that
Heather Lynn, I'm
bitch.
glad your ass ain't got no damn job no more. Why don't you go take your ass down to the unemployment office and see what happened after that, huh? You know, I'm sick and tired of these people going around thinking they can say anything and not get caught up and not get held responsible for it. Good for you that we found out who you are and that measures was taken to protect other people, you know, who work around you, because that was complete hate speech, and I hope somebody files a lawsuit against their ass.
I'm sure that
She should be blacklisted. Like, you're the type of
Look, if you want to party and play, you keep your ass home.
Right.
Yeah. What else is going on?
Executive order was passed to ban all flavored vape products,
including THC and nicotine and CBD, right?
Well, these people are still going to get their hands on that stuff, even though it was banned. They're still going to be using it.
But the reason why that they were dying was because they were getting the stuff that was on the black market. Just like the Oxycontin cotton is laced with fentanyl. It's the same motherfuckers are probably over here selling these illegal vape pens, and they're selling them to these kids.
Yeah, many of them are teenagers.
Because if you the brands that are in the stores that you buy at the head shops, usually those aren't the ones that are causing all this stuff. It's the ones that got all these other toxic metals and shit in it that's sold in the underground market. So until you begin to target that, this shit is still going to continue to happen. Making it illegal, motherfuckers still going to be making that shit underground. These kids still going to be down until they realize with their young ignorant selves. That they shouldn't be vaping and stuff so much.
It's so dumb. I feel like that they banned marijuana, which is a natural plant that grows in the earth. That is not actually cut with anything. You literally just need to grow it and pick it off the little stem.
But the thing is that it's making the legalization movement look bad because we do not have any controls over it to test any of the product that exists right now.
Right.
That's the biggest issue. Is like, how many shops do you go to for people out there who buy weed from the weed shops? How many of you know and can trust and verify with some kind of seal that somebody had inspected that? Somebody who took classes to inspect weed, that they inspected it and made sure that it didn't have any bad shit on it. We don't know. You know, you go to some of these shops and people grab this shit with their damn hands. You don't even know if they've been digging in their ass or in their hands.
That's true.
You know, don't even be touching it with no gloves or no tongs or anything like that. You know, we don't know. And really, when the bill passed, it said that we were going to get that there was going to be a Bureau of Cannabis Control out there making sure that these places were regulated, and they have not been out here regulating the market.
Very true.
And I think that we have to really highlight the fact that a lot of people who have died from this flavored vape product has been teenagers.
Yeah.
And I think it's really a call for parents to step up and say, you know what, if you're buying this stuff, I need to know what you're buying. You're gonna use it, okay, fine, but let me know what you're getting, because I'm in charge of your life. And I need to know what's going on. I don't want my kids to be dying off of something that they buying off the street. I don't want my kids to die at all, but to die off something that they get off the street that's not, controlled, that is not, taken care of properly. We don't know where these people get this stuff from.
And the fact that vaping has become so prevalent so quickly, that to me is super problematic, because when did that happen? Like,
and everybody takes it as a safer mode, and it's not a safer mode.
Because of the access. You have people over here, the same person that they buy weed from, they're talking about, here, take this vape pen too. I got this shit for you. It's not like cigarettes. Cigarettes, they made cigarettes even harder to get. So how the hell are kids gonna experiment? Because kids are still gonna be curious. Just because you change the age from 18 to 21, don't be fooled.
Why did they even change the age when in other countries it's like 16?
Well, because they wanted to deter kids from starting smoking. So they said, well, we'll push the year back, because it was a proposition. Or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't a proposition. It was the state legislature did that. But I don't even like the state legislature out here in California. No, they do. They pass all this shit without even thinking how to be fiscally responsible for it. They have a Democratic supermajority, but half of them motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they're doing. Some of them are crooks. Look at Sebastian Ridley Thomas, who had to resign because he was over here embezzling funds. Think about the guy, our state senator over in Inglewood, who wasn't even living in the jurisdiction that he was supposed to be representing. Think about the other guy out there in the valley who sit up there and was collecting bribe money. All these politicians, they're fucking tricks.
Well,
Yes,
they
we know
are.
that. We know that.
They're
Yeah.
con artists.
We know
and
that.
they're
We
freaking
definitely know that today.
Oh yeah.
We know that all the way.
freaking liars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's transition before we really get into our whole Politrick moment. Let's transition a little bit to something that hits home for me a little bit. Boy bullied and beaten to death in Moreno Valley.
Yeah, he was, and I mean, it's just very, to me,
You know,
it's incredibly sad because bullying, we all know that it's wrong.
It's wrong.
But why is it becoming violent? Like, how has it
feel
gotten
like
to the
the-
point? And it's bullying
honestly,
is never okay. But
I really feel like the school system failed him.
Yes.
I
they did.
agree.
They did.
The school failed him
I would
because
too.
I feel
if that was
like
the parents too,
I
yeah.
feel like when
Especially if I
I was
made it that way.
working
Yes.
at the schools or this last school that I worked at, we had to be on patrol, like
Mhm.
nutrition, lunchtime, like we had to do like rounds. We had to walk.
And there was
around
nobody.
the
And
perimeter
so my
of the
thing is,
school.
where are the staff members?
Exactly.
staff?
Where were the staff members?
Where were
When
the
this
staff members
happened, where
when
were
this
the staff
happened?
members?
Like,
Yeah, right.
it,
'Cause he was
bullying goes
beaten to a
on
pulp.
all the time, and that's exactly why there needs to be supervision at all
times. And multiple
Because-
supervision. They need to put more money into the
Because the
supervision
kids
of
are
schools.
not
No,
gonna
but
say
the
nothing.
thing is that they do not need, like they talked about they're going to hire security guards. What the, you don't need security guards, you need monitors.
Correct.
I mean, and that's
They need
what
surveillance.
what's
They need
what's
surveillance.
Wait, so
even
let's
getting
go
me-
about. Let's go
because
back to what
you talk-
actually happened.
okay, go ahead.
So September 16th, the incident happened, and the boy was hospitalized, and they pronounced him dead on September 20th. And the parents, they decided to donate his organs to, you know, anybody that needs it.
Sorry.
And after this happened, a lot of people, you know, put up, they were doing like basically a march, or they did like a ditch for Diego on a Friday, and they had like marched down to the school district's office, and you know, just demanded like more security, more supervision, and you know, just demanded more from the school district, because obviously, you know, this could have been prevented.
Mhm.
Because how do you beat a boy? Like, I just don't get it. Like, how do you beat a boy so bad and nobody freaking? And it was recorded.
That he basically turns into like he was brain dead.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, that's why they chose to.
It was recorded too,
pull the
so
plug, correct.
it was just like that's just crazy to me, because I'm just thinking about, you know, the show
13 Reasons Why.
13 Reasons Why. I'm
Yes.
thinking about that show and that kid that had got bullied, and it took him so long to tell somebody. It took him so long to tell somebody when he had so many different opportunities to say something. And when he did expose himself or did say something, you know, everybody was like, I wish you would have told me. I wish I would have known, because we could have did something about it or whatever. But I'm just saying that to say, like, kids are not gonna say,
Devin,
like, I can't.
I am really upset because these kids sat there and watched it.
Right.
That's
what I'm
my
saying.
problem.
That's the hard part.
There was no bystander intervention,
right.
what they call.
Right.
They could have easily pushed these other kids off of him.
Yes.
You could have easily
You could have had that one
intervened.
kid that
You
been
could
like,
have.
get off of him.
You could have had that one
Right.
kid that went to the
Yes.
like supervisor or
Like,
somebody to come over and stop the fight.
Exactly.
They
Right.
only watch, and that is my concern
Yeah.
for these kids, is they don't even know how to be how to intervene.
Intervene, right.
They're
Yeah,
so
right.
passive.
Yeah,
They're
that's
so
right.
passive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That is problematic in our society.
Yes,
If you don't know how to step in and help somebody else
Right.
out, somebody died.
Best believe, I remember when I was in school, if I seen somebody being bullied, I would always say something like, leave him alone. Like,
I
I would
think-
always say something.
And that's my issue. So my daughter dealt with this situation in school this past week, and she was being bullied. And this situation with this boy, he was killed, you know, by his injuries because he was hit and beat. I'm now concerned about the kids that go home at night and then
Emotionally.
kill themselves because of what's going on at school.
Yeah.
It was very emotionally damaged.
So I don't care about, you know, I don't necessarily want to know about the things that are going to happen. Like, you know, you hit my daughter, whatever case may be, those things. I want to know what that does to my daughter when she goes home at night.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a more trauma for me because
Yeah.
13 Reasons Why tells me that you deal with this stuff on the inside and you feel like the only way to fix this is that you kill yourself.
Yeah.
So bullying
Kill yourself or kill other
or
people.
kill other people. And so bullying is now been so defined. It's not like when we was in school. Pick on me, push me,
Right.
take my
Yes,
backpack, take my lunch money.
Right.
It's not like that no more.
Right.
These kids are killing themselves because they feel emotionally traumatized by things that are happening at school.
Because it's
But
so
my
much
my
different
my
trauma.
question is, before, yeah, we had something or somewhere else that you receive some kind of sense of validation.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you're not going to church, and I'm not saying everybody needs to go to church, but when you lack community,
Yes.
where else do you get that sense of validation
Correct.
and that
Right.
sense of self-assurance that you're
Right.
doing okay,
Right.
that you're doing fine, and that you should have pride. But if all you receive is and you may even lack that at home. So when you're at home, all you can do is be confined in your four walls or at your screen or at the multiple screens that you look at. That doesn't give you no damn sense of validation.
Right.
You're looking on screen at other people enjoying their
Right.
life. What
Right.
do you have some sense of self-pride? Nobody's liking your photos.
Yep.
The TV show that you really like, no, you know, the character dies off.
Right.
They're saying kill yourself, it's okay.
Right.
Where do you get that sense of validation to say that I'm okay, that I'm beautiful, that I the skin I am is beautiful
I
and
have
wonderful, and I
purpose.
have purpose,
Right.
I'm proud,
Right.
you know, that I am fulfilled. Where do you get that stuff outside? You know, if you don't have it in your home, you get it from your community. If you don't have it in your community, you're supposed to, where do you get it from?
Totally.
And that's just another moment where parents need to step up and say, you know what? There's a lot of stuff going on outside of what I don't even understand. You know, when I was a kid, this wasn't going on. Me as a parent, I need to like talk to my child and say, you know what? You matter. Regardless of what's going on outside of, I don't know what's going on. I'm not
Yeah.
with you every day, those 8 hours that you are at
Right.
school. You matter. You're important. You are smart. You are. You,
Yes.
you have to say that
Yes,
to your
it's very
kids because
important.
then they don't result to
Right.
other
They need to hear it.
avenues.
They need
They
to
need
hear
to
it.
hear those things.
And you can't just think it, and you can't just know it. You have to
You
say
have
it
to
to
say
them
it.
to make sure that they know.
Right.
You know, that's one of the
I
things,
agree.
you know, even in my job, you know, in groups and things like that, to talk that out. Like, yeah, I know you love your kids, but do they know that you love them?
Right.
How, do
Right.
you make sure that you say it and that it's in a repetition? You know, that you're
Repeating.
that you're
Yeah.
repeating it,
And even when
you're
you're
consistent and constant with
disciplining
it.
them, like,
Right.
are you
Even
coming
in
back
discipline,
and saying,
you still
like,
say,
look,
"I love you."
I
It's
love
okay.
you.
You
I'm
know,
doing
we
this
get this
because
through.
I love
Right.
you.
Right.
I'm doing this because, you know, you need to learn, or you need to learn from your consequences, or you need to do
Yeah.
this better, or you need, you know, it's, yeah.
It bothers me too with the parents of the bullies, because these bullies, every behavior is a learned behavior.
Correct. Correct.
So there is some kind of exposure, whether it's in their own household, whether they're receiving it, whether it's with their
Looking at
siblings,
it.
whether they're looking at it, you allow them to watch violent TV. Like, there's so many different things that I do think that the parents of the bullies need to take more responsibility for the children that
they
they
do.
are raising, the
Right.
ones that they're allowing to go out and be violent in the world. Because I do believe in parental guidance and parental,
Absolutely.
like, if you allow your kids to play violent video games, to play violent, like, at a certain age, you have to, I don't think parents, I do really think that parents should be taking classes. Because you have to understand the developmental level of your children,
I agree.
things that they should be exposed to at a certain age, and things that they should not.
Shouldn't be.
I agree.
Because their brains have not developed enough to be able to understand and to stop their impulses. They're very impulsive right now,
Right.
especially at elementary, between puberty.
Right.
So we're talking about middle school to high school. They're very impulsive. They're just going to act on emotion and motivation, and because they see it, because it's surrounded by them. It's super important as a parent that you are like helping them navigate that, helping them understand. You need to know your emotions are one thing. You being able to control and navigate and understand your emotions
Right.
before you act out is another. Like, I don't know if these parents are really having those conversations, and that to me is like it's more systemic. You know, like, we do have parents that are raising these bullies.
Right.
Let's talk about them as well.
And when
Either
we
they
and
don't, it's either they don't want to recognize it. They don't want to believe it. They don't want. They don't care enough.
They're not paying
They don't
attention.
have time
Right.
to pay attention.
Pay attention.
But what do you expect when you allow devices and television
to raise your children?
Your child
To raise your
and you're
children.
online without any damn parental controls, and you're looking at all these people who are adults or who are other people act like trolls.
Right.
You know, sit up and talk shit to everybody, you know, and be so damn defiant and argumentative. Nobody's saying anything nice. Everybody's talking shit at each other.
Right.
And then once the kids who are like sponges begin to soak that up and emulate that, now, we have a crisis.
Or
what
no,
the
they
hell do
just
you
they just
expect?
Right, what do you
laugh at
expect?
it.
Exactly.
Right, they record it.
That's been my thing. What do you
Right.
expect?
And then when we come to that idea of community, like Aaron was saying, you know, if parents are not recognizing it, then aunties and uncles need to step up. And
Totally.
grandmothers and grandfathers need to recognize some
Absolutely.
things. And cousins need to say something. And like pastors need to say something.
Yes.
It needs to be the whole community.
The village.
Because the parents ain't recognizing it. Somebody else has picked up on it.
Totally.
You recognize something going on. Be it either they're a bully or
Right.
they're being bullied.
Right.
And so someone needs to say something.
Yeah,
Period.
I agree.
Because we're going to lose children all the
Yeah.
time.
I mean, and this wasn't the only story
It's not
that
the
I
first
read.
one.
No, it's not
the first one.
I mean, it wasn't the first in this week.
Right.
I was reading about other stories where this little boy, also he had a neck brace on, and he's like permanently like damaged in his brain or something like that, where he was bullied. The boys followed him into the bathroom and beat him up in the bathroom. Yeah, and like he was this 7 or 8 year old boy.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah,
You heard about that?
The police were called.
Yeah.
And that's what gets me,
What
because
is
in
going
Moreno
on?
Valley, their answer to it is to get more security. And it's like, no, you need people out here to teach the appropriate way to have interpersonal communication.
Yes.
You need to teach we need to start beginning to reinforce values
Right.
that we all have. You know, I feel like is that we all know the right path to go down, you know, or what is good, what's benevolent.
And
But if you
my
don't-
thing is with these bullies, you like for the little boys that killed this other little boy, that's gonna stay with them for the rest
Oh,
of
they're
their
done. Their lives are over.
Their lives are
Their
over.
lives are over.
It's done.
It's done for
Done for
them.
them.
Yeah, completely.
They killed somebody.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the part also too I want to acknowledge. It's like not only did we lose a young boy's life, the other boys' lives are lost.
Our loss
too.
as well.
They are.
Absolutely.
So
It's just really
And I
sad.
think as we close on this topic, I think the main thing that we need to realize is there has been a lack of prayer
yeah, in schools,
in the school.
I agree.
They removed,
Bring back the Pledge
they
of
removed
Allegiance.
the Pledge of Allegiance because it talks about God. You know, God intervenes where He sees fit.
Mhm.
He intervenes when we allow Him to. God comes in when we place Him there.
Mhm.
So if you decide to take God out of stuff, you're not going to experience God. You're not going. That's not going to happen.
Anthony.
And so I think that now, since our kids are not able to interject God when they're the only means that they could, now we as parents and aunties and uncles and grandparents and pastors and leaders and all those things, we need to pray harder.
Totally.
We need to pray way harder. We need to fast harder because there's a lot going on that our kids are facing that we really can't monitor, can't control.
I mean,
But we
I don't
can
have
pray.
kids yet, but honestly, I've been like, do I
But
really
we
want
can
kids
pray.
in this world? If
Don't,
I'm in
and I tell them all the time, don't bring them if you don't want to deal with the consequences
Yeah,
or the
it's
things
a
that's
lot.
going to happen to them in the world today. That's not something our parents have to deal with back in the day.
No, yes, they did. I mean,
Well,
yeah, they did.
to a certain
I mean,
extent.
Yeah.
To a certain extent,
Yeah.
but now today,
generations prior, yeah.
now today we have a lot to face. Our kids are taking themselves out because of situations.
But where is but I'm saying, I mean, to be on the other side of that, that's even more litmus for people to be out there and to be impacting the lives of children.
I believe so.
I agree.
They don't need us. Kids today, they don't need us to say like, oh, well, we can't have any more kids because the world is bad. We need to make sure that even if we infect them with goodness, then they need to be able to feel that and sense that and know that they matter and to know that they can make a difference, that they even can make a change because they're still young. I mean, and yes, those boys' lives may be lost, but hopefully I mean, but the issue is that they will be going into a penal system that's toxic.
Right.
There is no corrections in the correctional facilities. Now, if the penal system actually was able to be reformed, and maybe those young men, they could overcome all those barriers and challenges with that.
These are young men of color.
But yeah, I mean,
All these little boys were black
the odds are against them.
and Latino.
But the thing is that it takes more intervention from the community. I mean, it takes more awareness about what's going on.
It does.
You know, because these kids, look, you know, even in the work that I do, the clients, you know, when I first started doing social work, the clients were all older than me. I was a young buck, right, dealing with people who were in their 50s, in their 60s, in their 40s. You know, the young person was in their late 20s. Now I'm dealing with clients, I'm 28, now I'm dealing with clients, you know, who are way younger than me, who are 19, 22, 23.
Wow.
And you're talking about people who still need to get their lives together and need to be put on the straight path, but maybe they didn't have the appropriate representation or anybody there who was there to say, what is your goals, what are your passions, and how do you get there? So that's your dream, right? Well, how do you get there? Because I don't want to talk about delusions. I want to talk about goals that you can set for yourself, that I'm going to be here to track and make sure that you follow through with them. I'm not here to bullshit you, but I am here to hold you accountable that if you have that dream, you are going to get there. And I'm not going to leave you behind, but you better get your ass up and keep walking.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Hello.
I believe that, you know, the system is flawed and the system has a lot of issues, but it comes from the top.
It does.
It comes from the top.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about, you know, how they're going to set, you know, we got a president in office that is so corrupt, and we deal with situations, and it comes from him.
Yeah.
It comes from the leader.
I totally
It comes
agree.
from the head. We have multiple situations that happened this week with our own president of our United States of America.
It's just been happening.
It's been
crazy stuff
Big.
this
All right, so
year.
let's just real quickly
Let's talk
go through.
about
Let's
that.
just real quickly go through it. Well, first of all, the same week when all this stuff was happening, then we heard that the Trump. Last week we heard that the Environmental Protection Agency was going to be canceling the waiver that California has received since the 70s to set our own emission standards with the car manufacturers. So we have an emission standard that we say that, you know, vehicles can only emit a certain amount, that we have to have a higher miles per gallon for vehicles, you know, that are sold in this state. And now the Trump administration is saying that it's so draconian to all these other companies, and that we're making it so that these car companies have to create a California car versus, you know, a car for other states. So they're saying that they're not allowing us to have our waiver, which is ridiculous because we've had the waiver for almost 40 years now. So they're coming up with some political bullshit to fuck with us, basically. But not only that, let's speak about the fact that Trump recently, that an impeachment inquiry has been opened on him from the House of Representatives, because in July, Trump apparently contacted the president of Ukraine and had asked him, you know, the president of Ukraine, check this out, the president of Ukraine was asking for missile defenses and other defense weapons and other artillery so that they can fight this war against Russia, right? Remember, Ukraine is an ally for us, right?
Yes.
Russia isn't really an ally.
Correct.
By technicality, just because Trump likes Putin and they hold hands and shit, we're not really allies. But we are allies with Ukraine. So Ukraine is coming and ask us if they could buy weapons and planes and shit from us, right? Well, in that same conversation, Trump says, well, hey, look here, you know, I have an idea.
I love this.
I have an idea. Why don't you, you know, this Joe Biden thing is very bad, very bad. So I need you to investigate it a little bit, and if you could look into it for me, that would be great. That would be great. You know, so in that same conversation, when the president of Ukraine is asking for weapons, he says, oh, well, you know, we're going to hold off on that until you guys clean up this corruption and look into this corrupt thing that Joe Biden did.
Right, but I need you to do me a favor, though.
I need you to do me a favor. I need you to do me a favor.
Correct.
Like, you want these
Those
votes, I
are
need you to do me a favor.
key
That's
words.
a key.
I need
Those are key.
you
I
to
need
do
you
me
to
a
do me a
favor.
favor.
Yeah. So check this out. So he's telling an ally that he's going to withhold weapons in order to do him a favor to look into Joe Biden's son, who apparently had joined the board of this, I think it was an oil company, and he was getting paid, millions of dollars. But it's legal, it's legal,
Yeah, and he's an ally.
Right. So the allegation was that while Joe Biden was vice president in 2016, Joe Biden had ordered that he would withhold money from Ukraine unless they clean up the corruption. But the thing is that as a part of that deal of that company trying to clean up corruption, they hired Joe Biden's son to be on their board. So that is what Trump was trying to look into, and it doesn't look good on Biden or Biden's son. It really doesn't.
It doesn't look good on Trump either.
Yeah, but what Trump did was worse. But that's what Trump was trying to look into. Was trying to have Ukraine look into. But really, there was really nothing to look into because there's no there. Because it was legal for them to hire Joe Biden's son to pay him millions of dollars. It's okay, a company can pay its board members whatever they, decide to choose.
I think the issue is, and even Trump said this, he didn't do anything wrong. In his mind, he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, in his mind.
But there's clearly the evidence, 9 pages of evidence that's showing that you were asking for a favor. You were, obviously, you took this conversation in a position where you was not, so that it could not be heard or documented. It still was documented. So you knew you was doing something wrong. So why are you now trying to say that it's not wrong when you took the actions
to keep it secret?
To keep it a secret.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't such a secret, and you know the rules because you are the president, you know the rules. So why are you not taking measures to make it secret if it's nothing? If you're not doing anything wrong.
Measures to make it secret, but also Trump is such a dummy. Like he's the dumbest person that I've ever seen in the media by
He's a
far.
fucking idiot, man.
He is so stupid. For him to even use that language, it was probably people in the White House that were listening that was like, oh, you know what? He just fucked himself over. We're gonna have to put this in a secret vault of other secret things because of the language that he's like literally like the quintessential
he's a shady he's a crook. He's always been a crook. He's always been a crook. And that is how crooks operate.
Yes.
And he is not a changed man. The guy is 73 years old. He ain't gonna change for shit.
His way.
He ain't gonna change.
Right.
So what are we expecting from a damn crook but to act like a crook? He is gonna hold up the weapons to get something that he wants. He wanted some dirt on Joe Biden.
Right, and then he actually
tried to set it up.
Did he specifically say that he wanted dirt on his opponent?
Yeah,
he
said that in July. In July, he had an interview with George Stephanopoulos, of ABC, and he said, hey, look, if another country had some dirt on my opponent, sure, I'd look at it. I'd look at it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So that he can use it.
Right.
Of course, he can use it again.
But look, don't forget that when Hillary's campaign was hacked, it was through Russia. And he had asked Russia to do that.
Yeah.
He asked Russia to do that shit, and they did it. And all these damn Republicans are over here in bed with the Russians. Say nothing but traitors too. We just finding out this week that the National Rifle Association, that back in 2015, 2016, their asses was out there in Russia, fucking around with them politicians. Yeah, the same NRA that's over here doing all this bullshit with the guns, taking money, paying for all these right-wing conservatives and stuff. Them niggas was out there in Russia trying to get bought too. So they traitors too. Talking about I love America. My ass, you in bed with Russia. They've been our enemies for all this years. You motherfuckers like bringing up history so much. You guys don't even realize that Russia's still been our enemy this whole time. Ha! 30 years ago, you guys was up here castigating them because they were the Soviet Union, and now you guys in bed with them.
It's despicable.
What about Korea too? I wonder what he said.
I wonder what he said to all these countries. I want to know what he has said to all these countries. He be on the phone. I want to know what he has said to everybody.
He be on the phone all the time.
I want to know what he has said to all these people. Pull a document.
Man, he bullshit.
Yeah, well, now that the impeachment inquiry
It is
going,
there.
that they are going to be able to research into all of those
All of
things
those
that were
Yeah,
pulled into that secret place.
Yeah, we're gonna see, and I hope Democrats don't fuck it up because
I hope
they all
I hope-
Democrats always fuck shit up
I
because
hope
they're never
Democrats do
consistent.
their job. I
They're
hope
ne-
they
they
do
are
their
never-
job in this moment.
But look, they are never consistent. They
That's
are never
true.
on message. They always want to fall for the okie doke and go off on a tangent. When look, you need to be consistent with talking about how this dude is fucking up in office and talk about the real issues at the same time. You need to talk about the average American who was unable to pay their car note and their insurance and their
And
health
their
insurance
rent.
and their rent
mortgage.
and their food and their credit card
Everything.
bill. And so you need to start talking about that. But have they been talking about that? They ain't been talking about a damn thing.
No.
So
Yeah.
that's what the hell I need these Democrats to do is to actually go out there and be about something instead of talking shit about Trump all the damn time.
Right.
Where the fuck are your ideas at?
Right.
Blowing in the wind.
Something.
It's a time for realization, but also it's a
Damn, I'm
time
kind
for
of
prayer.
cursing a lot, my bad.
It is a time for prayer.
It's not new
What the
here.
heck?
It's fine. You're fine there. It's a time for prayer. You know, we need to really stand firm and pray for our country.
Totally.
Its leaders. We need to stand firm in praying for the right decision making. You know, we need to pray for those who show up in the polls
Right,
next
right.
year. We also need to just pray for for clarity for the American people. Like there's
Absolutely.
too much going on right now, and you guys need to have perfect vision in 2020.
Perfect vision, but then also be as citizens, we need to be aware.
We need
Watch
to be
your
aware.
Be
MSNBC.
watchful.
Watch your
everything.
CNN, read your
educate,
CNN,
like
research
seriously,
your NBC.
research.
Don't stay away from Fox News. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
reputable sources. Make sure that you're reading about this information.
I talked to somebody today said I don't watch the news. I said you should be
Yo,
watching
what's
the
your
news.
problem?
You
Right.
should be watching the
Right.
news.
I don't know
It's
what's
a
up. I
critical
don't know
time
what's
to
up with
watch
people.
the news.
I don't see why people be bullshitting and be like, oh, I don't watch. You don't act like I'm supposed
You
to be
need
looking at
to
you like you
watch
some
the
fucking
news.
philosopher.
Right.
Oh, I don't look at the news. Oh, don't listen to the media. You know, you need to shut your ignorant
Watch
ass up.
the news or read.
Yeah. You
Watch
know.
the news or read.
I've always felt that way. I'm like, how am I supposed to have a conversation with you that's current?
Current about current
Right.
situations.
We used to have assignments called current
Current
events.
events
That's-
at school.
We
Yes,
have to
we
read the newspaper.
we have to read the
We
newspaper.
did.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. I think that's the call right now. Y'all educate yourselves.
Right.
Watch the news.
Read your
Yes, yes.
newspaper.
Pull up your phone. You can pull up CNN on your phone, your smartphone.
Hell, Facebook,
And
we report
Facebook got
news
it.
too.
Everybody
So-
is there. Like
Well, you gotta make sure it's the right article on Facebook.
Right.
Right, on Facebook you gotta, but
Well,
that's
so-
but that's
at
why
the
you
same
follow
time,
reputable
you keep
sources.
watching, you keep reading, you keep
Yes.
educating yourself.
Totally.
This was a great show, y'all.
All right, you
I
I
guys.
know,
appreciate it.
Anthony, you did great.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Y'all do y'all little
Yes.
scripture so we can close out.
Proverbs 3,
3,
5,
5,
and
and
6.
6.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him and he shall direct thy path. Thank you all.
God bless.
Do that.